and you don't really have those communication problems. When you're working with something like Nunu, it's a lot more back and forth between Saint and the carries that he's trying to zone for. And they also have to play a bit more cautiously. But we will see what champions they get for themselves this time around. Interesting bans already here. Very, very, very support-oriented. Taking out Bunny Fufu's Thresh, long time Thresh-only main, until he got into the professional scene and started expanding the champion pool, but as well, too, from Gravity.
See such diversity in today's bans here throughout this game as well. Annie going through pretty much all the games now banned here. A lot of support focus, like you were saying.
Yeah, a lot of support focus. The last two for top lane, but with this many supports banned, it's got to raise the question of Veigar in your mind, especially if we are having a discussion of hard CC. But Lissandra gets through Pix bans, one of the best all around right now. Cassidy as well is up.
She squeaked right through. No hesitation coming from Shadow there, giving the team confirmation of Morgana and Nidalee. Now back over to Team Liquid. Quick to pick once more.
Yeah, let's see where these two go, because the Nidalee, I'm thinking it is a St. Vicious jungle Nidalee at the moment. And a Morgana, I'm pretty sure is going to be a Bunny Fufu Morgana. Keen always mouses over the Hecarim.
The machine!
Oh, he locked it in!
Keen the machine!
So will we get to see Keen's Hecarim mid, or are they going to give it to Haunter in the ultimate troll and not even let Keen play it and use it as top lane?
Wouldn't that be the thing? Be like, actually, we're rounding out this composition. It kind of works out better if we don't give it to you. I'm sorry. They were just all smiles there, and we've heard from Cop, one of the greatest atmospheres and environments he's played in, and it shows as these guys get to the stage.
Look what they're doing too. Both Haunter and Keen have Teleport Ignite right now, so they're even still making Team Liquid guess, is this actually going to be the fabled Keen Hecarim mid, or are they going to send it up top? Because neither of them are giving anything away here.
Braum has been picked up by elimination a few times. We thought maybe Veigar because of all the supports being banned. You said that, Kobe, and it may be in the cards for Team Liquid. Keith already has his AD carry, and I like it. Locking down the cannon. So this could actually go towards top for Quas and Lissandra mid lane for Phoenix.
Yeah, Lissandra being locked in early, definitely a flex pick. Kennen can be played mid as well. It's just kind of hard to work the skill shots around for harass in the mid lane. So he's much more popular up top. Plus, he can use the range advantage to try and bully Hecarim. I mean, either of these two, good choices, but Hecarim with the 100% all-in on either of them is fairly scary. Interesting mid-game spike here for Team Liquid. They have a lot of power towards the mid-game. Kennen, once you get the ultimate, as soon as he completes Zanya's, and he should be able to complete Zanya's around the Trinity Force timing as well. If they can combine those timing coordinates, Aaron's getting all the picks out here. So it won't be the Keen, it won't be Keen's Hecarim, but we do get to see his Victor. It's ridiculous how Victor just showed up really recently in Asia as well, both China and Korea. He's such a strong mid-range mage that I think that with all the assassin nerfs recently, people are like, oh no, another Victor cheese, a Karthus cheese showing up too. These are just champions that are coming to the surface because all of the assassins are getting nerfed so heavily. And Victor did have a problem getting assassinated. So we'll see around how they're able to work around it this time, which upgrades he goes with first as well.
I like the composition. Definitely seeing some new stuff come out here.
Well.
A little bit more of a rounded team that we've been seeing coming from Team Liquid, but they do bring out the Kennen, the Braum, and the Lissandra in the mid lane. This is going to be one heck of a matchup.
Yeah, I'm standing up for this one.
Either explosive, or it's unfortunately going to be both teams like, well, these are some crazy picks. We better not do anything too hard.
Right. So if we do, put all of the interesting picks to the side for a second here, we can look at the Team Liquid squad. And there are some holes. They have really, really heavy magic damage on this team. Not only is it double AP, but they are double AP with Corki as their AD carry. So if they do get to a late game, they might run into problems with armor stacking from Gravity.
Well, we'll see. The players are heading onto the Rift, so head over to Twitter and vote for who you think will rack up the win. Send hashtag TLWin or hashtag Gravity, GVWin rather, to @LOL Esports. We'll tally those up throughout the game. Everybody's ready. This is the red side, blue side as well, ready and raring to go. And everybody's ready to see what happens with these compositions. Liquid versus Gravity and pause. Yeah, that's all right.
I'm all hyped up and ready to go now. All right, one more energy drink.
One more. So it looks like Bunny Fufu. No, we're actually talking to Hanser on this one. His horseshoes aren't actually glued on right, so we're going to go ahead and get that fixed up for him. Making all sorts of noise when he walks the lane.
Is that not hilarious that they finally pick Hecarim and they don't even let Keen use it?
Well, that's how he's a machine, right? Because he can play anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
And
you pull the slot lever, and if it comes up, it may not even be.
If you have Keen on your team as well, Hanser has no excuse for not knowing all of the ins and outs of Hecarim play early. And he's going to go with the all-in summoners of the Teleport Ignite. Really popular because Hecarim is so snowbally. If you get the first base on Hecarim and pick up those home guard boots, level 6, post level 6, your gank down bottom is ridiculous. You can 100% the AD carry before they can react. Coming out with the home guard bonus for damage because of the passive as well as the ignite, it's just a really potent combo. So whenever you're playing against Hecarim in the top lane, make sure to call out anytime that he bases. If you do not see him, then you need to notify the other lanes.
Everybody's in trouble.
Because Hecarim is looking for home guard teleport ganks really early on in the game to snowball.
We saw some of those on PTL. Very effective. It's kind of like, oh, that person's safe. And you just see the horse come out of nowhere, jump over a few walls, and he makes and gets the work done. Waiting on Hanser's keyboard here. A little unresponsive, so we're going to get him plugged back in and ready to go in that top lane. Kennen versus a Hecarim. How do you see that lane going?
So the thing is, Hanser's also started boots, so he should be able to avoid pretty much all of the Shuriken harass by working around the minion wave. The only thing is, we might just see Kennen, starting Electrical Surge, the W, and going for those auto attacks, trying to get the empowered ones off and then active for the harass.
Right.
But I don't think that Hanser is going to have too big of a problem since he has 4 health potions with his boots. In the early game. He should be able to make it all the way to the stage where he can back for home guards.
And while we're waiting, Dominate says he cares less about having a huge game and more about how the whole team performs. Let's listen.
Well, I don't really care about outshining someone in the jungle. I just want my team to win. So it's really just about us playing well that day as a team, getting things going early. And yeah, it's I don't mind being behind in the jungle if we win the game at all. So yeah, I just feel like any other game, just try to win.
Interesting, because there was all that discussion about, Piglet is demanding too much farm in the late game.
Right,
we only have a couple of lanes to give to people. And he's taken so many jungle camps. Dominate likes to play this more carry-oriented style. He's willing to fill all roles.
It seems like with that team right now, like we've been saying from what we've heard, you have to wear a lot of different hats in every role on that. Kind of changes from game to game as they're figuring out what the composition they want is. With Keith, as they said now, not focus as much farm onto him, and it has been working. Hopefully it can pan out for the rest of the split. These guys are still 2 teams, 5-5 at the middle of the pack, so there's a lot to be gained here in the second half.
Is it not the funniest thing that the 2 former Curse organizations are battling for sole possession
of fourth
place?
Forever?
With Impulse losing, they are going to be the...
It had to. It's fate. It just comes down to it every once in a while.
Who's more Curse, Gravity or Team Liquid?
It's a good question. That could be our second vote for the game. Everybody can vote for that one.
Technically, I'd have to say Gravity are more Cursed. They've got the old school St. Vicious and Cop on their squad, so...
That's true.
Representing the old guard.
Yeah, Cop is pretty much holding it down forever and ever with St. Vicious.
All right, we got a bigger problem than anticipated here. Gonna have to rework, get some more space under there for for Hanser. He's gonna be moving his legs a lot as you play Hecarim. You're gonna want to
you need some space.
Adjust your seating.
Absolutely. That's not true. They're fixing his horseshoes.
It's all a joke.
So Gravity came out in their last 3 games. They are 2 out of the 3 were wins. Liquid and Teammate. Then they lost to Impulse. In the Impulse game, they actually got a lot of the picks that they wanted, but it was that Nunu game that you were talking about, and one that doesn't favor them too much.
I mean, the thing is, he's been a long-time lover of Nunu, for years and years, basically even preseason.
Yeah.
He was a huge Nunu player, So he knows the champion well. He knows how to use the champion really well. But it didn't look like they incorporated it into their plan for the game very well because, as they said, they were using their mobility a lot for engages. Their coach was talking about missed opportunities because they're trying to force things. It's really hard to force team fights with Nunu unless you're drawing the enemy to an objective, and what you're forcing them is because you have the consume smite as Nunu, and you're saying, we're going to take this unless you come fight us, and then you just put Nunu in the front and try and have him zone. But this time around, they are not taking Nunu. They have the Nidalee, which is much more fearsome early game, going to look for kills instead of just invading your jungle and trying to counter jungle you. We'll see what St. Vicious can come up with.
I'm interested. It's the first time we're seeing Saint on Nidalee this split here in the LCS. He's always a big proponent of going over what junglers can be viable and what are not, so we'll see how he fares on Nidalee.
Yes, we will. And I think he's going to try and control, dominate, and keep his influence on the game to a minimum. The other thing that Nidalee that really helps him with that style is that Nidalee is amazing at taking the scuttle crabs because the scuttle crabs very poor at dodging skill shots. And once Nidalee lands a spear, she can basically one combo them.
Ooh! Oh, Cop, you got to know there's also a support on that side. Takes a winter's bite to the face. I like it, though. The dance-off has already begun. And I definitely have to mention that Keith took away Cop's Corki for this game. So.
And gold.
Dancing in front of him there, a little BM.
So the thing is, Bunny Fufu just showing that he started binding there as well. If they do match up in the 2 versus 2, it's a little bit more difficult to take the Gromp, plus won't be able to use W on the wave really early on. So interesting early level up of the Q here for Bunny Fufu. They still will probably do the Gromp because it doesn't look like they're trying to stop Krugs. And if you're not stopping Krugs, you better get some sort of side experience so that you don't get level 2 all in. There it is. Now what you want to do when trading the attacks on the Gromp is have your support take most of them, but the AD carry is going to take a few and then try and use lifesteal to get it back up, plus the healing from the actual kill on the jungle camp. Team Liquid did a little bit better there, and they had the harder camp to do with the Krugs, I feel like.
Bunny already trying to utilize having that binding level 1. Special not just yet being able to get into range, and level 2 is hit first.
I just have to say, I do not expect Cop to dodge skill shots by moving up in the lane and moving forward. But as Graves, he has the confidence to run towards Corki when Phosphorus Bomb is launched right there and avoid the damage instead of dodging to the side or backwards.
A really good consideration not get flustered.
He's just become such a much more well-rounded player.
Yeah.
Over the last couple years.
Usually.
The last couple years. This guy's been playing League for a long time.
Usually it would be kind of the safe farm in lane for Cop, doing what he can to stay back on misfortune so he can shred people later with the ultimate. But not anymore.
He still plays, very safe in lane, and he talks about it all the time how he concentrates mostly on CSing for the early stages, but he'll flash into fights later on. All right, so keeping tabs on this Nidalee. St. Vicious did start, or has finished his blue buff, so he's got the doubles. Basically mirrored for the early starts for both junglers, each of them trying to take advantage of these defenseless scuttle crabs for the free gold.
Ooh, this looks like a flash ready to be blown here by Haunter in the top lane.
Well, Haunter does not have flash because he is the Ignite Teleport Hecarim.
The Ignite
so
Teleport.
Very vulnerable to early ganks.
Hopefully he doesn't get popped here. That's going to be him going down. The lockdown coming in. Boom! That's Quaz picking up first blood.
So when you do play Hecarim like that with the Ignite Teleport, the early stages, you need to either call your jungler to protect you for pushing up or play really safe because you don't have that flash to burn. You don't have a defensive summoner spell. And already a really good job by Dominate with, honestly, a gank that Gravity probably should have anticipated, but good execution there from Dominate. Not hesitating to flash in for the Unburrow. First blood, well deserved, and that will be a blasting wand early for Quas.
So I was going to ask, How much should Dominate now come up to this lane? But I don't think he needs to anywhere. Quash should be able to just completely punish this.
From this point on, there should be a lot of harass put down onto Hanser. What you want to do as what you want to do as Quas right now, you get these auto attacks in. You should be hugging the bush side probably, so you can keep stepping in and out of the brush to avoid minion back harass. And I think he just missed his auto there. He's trying to get that charge onto Hanser, but not that big of a deal. Right now, he still does not have his ward placed. Taking a while to place that ward. He did get a true ward, though, so it will be that 3-minute ward. And all he has to do is just save his Lightning Surge.
Right, and
he
also
continue to play aggressively and harass. And
oh dear, oh dear.
Whoo! Calculated.
Had to squeeze a little bit for that one, Saint. So with that buy from Quas as well, we'll see him not rushing the Zhonya's to come out here, maybe without the threat of somebody completely exploding him. He has the chance to just get his ult off and get out.
Yeah, he just having the perfect amount of gold for the lasting wand after the first purchase. Wants to go for the bully rather than early Zhonya. So that's a good point you bring up, though. The Trinity Force and Zhonya's double spike for Team Liquid will be a little bit offset.
Yeah.
And that just means that Quas has to have good positioning, and he has to watch his health a little bit closer. He can't just blindly rush into the enemy team and try and get as many people in his ult as possible. He'll have to work with Lissandra, work with Phoenix, and the CC that he can lay down to set it up. But should mean he has a really, really strong laning phase.
St. Vicious just hovering around that mid lane for Keen for a bit. Has yet to go back just yet. Get himself some items. 50 to 48 in that lane, so pretty even between Phoenix and him. No real kill pressure they have been putting onto each other. So we'll get the first back here from Keen. Good hits from Xpecial in the bottom lane to keep these tags onto Cop. He cannot dodge these skill shots right now as we get towards that level 6. A lot of pressure from Liquid, but the CS is still quite even.
And there's not as much kill pressure as you would normally expect in this lane, because Xpecial can put up the Braum wall to block the brunt of the Graves combo. It dodges by both. Even if somebody does get locked up with a binding, Xpecial can either put up his wall for himself or jump over to Keith and provide support. Take the bullet for him. Literally.
St. Vicious trying to clear out the jungle. I don't know if Phoenix is actually going to rotate over here with Dominate. Doesn't look like they're going to react to it at all. Blue buff does need to be delivered over to Phoenix here. And as we check back in at the top lane, 60 to 43. The first gank was all Quas needed here on Kennen to just give Hanser a terrible time. You can see he wants to go back as well. Kennens will not normally use the Lightning Rush unless they want to get out of lane. That is pretty much your safety. So Hanser back in. Those home guards are the instant buy for him, along with some Merc Treads.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually fortunate timing there for Team Liquid. They were able to force Cop out of lane when Hanser went back for his first purchase. If Team Liquid were pushed up this far, there's actually a perfect ward in the side bush, or there is about to expire, perfect ward in the side bush that he could teleport on behind Corki. But Cop got harassed very low, went back for his BF sword buy, and they do not get to make the early home guard play from Hanser. So I'll have to keep an eye on his next return to base, because before he goes for one of those games, he's going to have to return to the fountain to get his home guard boost, which is where all the power comes from early. Other than that, just the Merc Treads in lane right now. He's got to really worry about a repeat gank.
Oh. Definitely not winning those damage trades, even if he helicopters out, keeps hitting his Q as much as possible. Going back already. Looks like he's got something to grab in base. The home guards will get him back in lane nicely with not missing too much CS. The Rylus Crystal Scepter looks like it's going to be first for Quas, as we're taking a look here at the bottom lane. Bit of a ping out coming in from Xpecial. They're just making sure they have the vision here. Dragon could be very soon. Yeah,
some decent vision set up there for Team Gravity, as well as Team Liquid. Around the area. Victor, by the way, no real surprise. Mid lane Victor upgrading his Death Ray the laser first. Sometimes we do see the top lane victors upgrade the Q for speed boost. But he's going to have really good wave clear now, the Victor. So maybe they will try and wait a little bit more towards that late game, get Saint to his first spike so they can have some more poke. Here comes the Dominate gank. Instant flash. Because there's just so much CC that you can chain.
Yep.
It's an advantage of a Lissandra lane. Not only does she have really good wave shoving, but her potential for a kill when a jungler assisted is really, really big. If he's able to just get the Frozen Tomb on you to start the CC chain, and Keen would have a really tough time, even with the barrier summoners.
Great eyes from Quas. As soon as he saw that coming out, he gives himself to safety with Lightning Rush. Saint Vicious now trying to make an impact on some of the lanes. Once again, clearing out the Crab. He may just head back down towards mid. The vision of Saint towards the top side gives Dominate long enough to take down Dragon number 1. Just around 10.5 minutes here for Liquid.
Repeat gank.
The ultimate's there. The flash goes out. It's very hard to dive again, and this could be Saint in big trouble, and it looks like Quas will stay alive.
That is going to be huge because he has teleport as well. He can just teleport right back to lane on the turret and not give up any pressure. Plus, Dominate's even in the area. If Gravity stick around too long, they may get counter ganked. All right, they're just going to pull off. Good job by Gravity not overstaying their welcome after they've burned quite a few summoners on that gank. Flash from Saint and Ignite from Hauntzer.
Going for kind of the most gold they could get out of anything. Quas has the first one, so they're looking to get that back. And Hauntzer at least back in the game. Down just about 30 CS, well 20 CS, as he's creeping up to 80 now. And hopefully being somewhat of an initiator for the team later. Can't do much if he's not going to have the items to do so. Looks like Triforce Phage will be first up for him as we're watching the bottom lane back and forth. Keith, level 8, special just on the edge of that, near 50%.
Yeah, there are a lot of reasons why Triforce is really strong on Hecarim. Phage is one of the first and foremost speed boosts for him, so he can get extra damage out of it. But also, the Trinity Force doesn't really usually scale that well for people into the late game. It pretty much just scales with armor penetration, which is something that Hecarim also does like to get as a late game champion. So Trinity Force plus the, now he's cornered. Can he get out? Rylai's Crystal Scepter slow here from Quas. Should ensure that they get some more harass off.
Yeah, I like that buy first, especially against Hecarim.
But yeah, Trinity Force plus Ghostblade. That's what I was going to follow it up with.
Oh yeah.
For that flat armor penetration, just annihilate AD carries really early on.
He has to be afraid about this one. Slicing Maelstrom's ultimate cooldown is not that long. And you can see Quas always having that Shuriken primed up to make sure you can start a combination. It does hold Hauntzer off. First turret's going to go down in the top lane. And Quas has so far had a good game. See if he can carry that to the other lanes.
Quas has had a great game. I think Dominate as well.
Yeah, really excelling that.
Even though Dominate
catalyst
isn't, he didn't get the kill. He's put a lot of pressure on the map. Not only did he get that early gank off onto Hauntzer and punish him for not taking an escape summoner, but he also was able to get that dragon, tunnel over the back, even though Gravity had deep wards looking for that tunnel, by the way. Saint had earlier placed a ward behind the dragon pit, expecting Dominate to go with one of those tunnels and sneak it. Dominate took advantage when Saint was already up top, so pretty good play so far from Dominate.
Definitely an in-between game. He's keeping the wards up, and he's also being able to be aggressive on the map.
No turret here.
Oh, that's going to be it. One last hit. It'll proc. Hauntzer only gets 3 of those. He can't take all of them, and he is going to be able to get out alive. The Merc Tread saving his tail on that one.
Merc Tread's definitely crucial here.
Yep.
Saint just in time to add a heal as well for Hauntzer. So I'm still waiting for the teleport play from Hauntzer. Still, this is really the big impact of Hecarim early on. When you see him make one of those home guard teleports, usually on the bottom lane, because that's where the squishiest targets are early on. But it's kind of past the point. And also, Team Liquid are doing a good job of keeping it clear of wards. They've got 2 pink wards on the bottom side, 1 in this tri-bush, 1 even on the side lane here from Xpecial. So good job there by Xpecial, keeping it ward free down bottom. So Hauntzer doesn't really have a good spot to teleport in behind them on.
Nope. Making things safe for Keith. The only entrance that Saint has is to really come through the lane just to relieve pressure here. Well, Cop is back and doing what he can. But Rabadon's almost in here for Keen. We might see some big pressure once they start grouping for these team fights from Victor. But as of right now, it's the laning phase going over to Liquid.
Yeah, Victor especially. He's going straight Death Cap. Yeah. Upgrading the laser first and then going right into Death Cap. He wants really, really powerful poke with the laser, and then also the burst damage with his ultimate. Really, really crucial to keep track of for Team Liquid. They're going to have to worry about that. Phoenix, though, on Lissandra, really scary for Victor. If he does get locked up in CC, it's really easy to take down because he can't get off the Q for the shield. He can get 100%ed.
That's the thing I just noticed about Quas, too. You build a Rylai's and you get Lissandra, right? So you almost have 2 Lissandras. Everybody's getting slowed.
One shot's the minion wave here.
Oh, that's enough for the flash. Just throwing out the claw. It's powerful enough. And that's going to be big for this next possible engagement in 30 seconds.
That's how scared he is as Victor of getting 100%ed, even without Rek'Sai even showing, because the claw gets so close to him. Immediate flash away again. And that summoner spell for this dragon fight is going to be really, really telling, because St. Vicious is almost out of mana. If they can't land poke before it, it's going to be really hard here for Gravity. Dominate just to getting a little counter jungling done.
Also has barrier as well, so Keen, if he doesn't flash, he's definitely going to be trying to use barrier to stay alive, and he's not really leaving anywhere other than that turret.
Death Cap done, though. That is
he did spike it fast.
Big spike here. 346 ability power already for Victor.
Let's see if Team Liquid can start to make a move. Setting up a bit of the vision here to start grabbing that dragon area. Teleport is up on both sides for Quas and Hauntzer on Kennen and Hauntzer's Hecarim. Looks like right now Dominate just getting enough sonar to know they don't want that fight right away. And everybody's going to back off for now, really respecting the compositions for now and knowing that Quas is just getting bigger and bigger. They're in no rush to really change anything.
Quas is just destroying him up in this lane, you know, especially with all the jungler intervention that's gone on. Really abusing this Kennen into Hecarim. So,
could be the collapse.
Let's see if they can land some poke, though, because Gravity have really high damage. If they land skill shots.
There's going to be the hit. That should be Xpecial going down. He misses the flash. So, Cop is going to pick up a kill. That's a bit of ground gain for them, but second dragon does go to Liquid.
That's only 1 kill, and it's on the support, though, and they had to burn the Victor ultimate for that as well. Well, they didn't really have to, but they did. So, Victor ultimate down. The next siege is a little bit less scary. I mean, usually you have to worry about dodging bindings, spears, and lasers for this, but at least there won't be the follow-up of a Victor ultimate. What they're going for is, if one of those binding lands, then a spear from Saint, a laser from Keen, and the ultimate from Keen would kill anyone that the binding lands on. But they won't have all the tools available now, and they really have to pay attention to the flank from Kennen. Quas is just massive in this game. He's already post-level 11, too. He's got level 2 Kennen ultimate. That could easily lock up and destroy this poke squad here from Gravity if they let him get too close.
Sitting on about 1,300 gold, so another 300. He's got his needlessly large rod of the Zanyas. It looks like they are actually looking to accrue that 300 gold somehow by maybe a fight here. With teleport being up, Quas already approaches. Dragon already went down, so they definitely want to get something out of this.
Yeah, so Gravity, they need to be really, really diligent with their defensive warding. If they can get a good spot where Team Liquid push into their territory over a ward and get a Hauntzer, home guard teleport in from Hecarim.
Yeah.
Plenty of burst damage from Gravity, even though they are behind.
That's a back. Thought it would have been a teleport, but he's just decided, no, he stays. He's going to go ahead and take the turret. Smart move from Hauntzer, but does he have enough here? Could be Quas getting back in time.
Yeah, since he went for the defensive route, getting the early cloak here, instead of building into Phage for an earlier Trinity Force spike. Not a lot of turret damage there. And that's the other thing. If we do see him backing like that, it could signal that he's coming in for a teleport, because he wants to be able to return to base before teleporting in.
Almost an option there, but we did see Gravity's turret in the mid go down too fast, and Deja Vu in the bottom lane. That falls as well. So the outer ring of turrets now at 20 minutes is down for Gravity. We'll see how Liquid starts to pressure on the map and move up their wards. So far, Gravity's doing okay, at least with their buffs. This would be nice for Keen.
I think basically this is Gravity, going to plan B after they weren't able to get any opportunities for good Heck Room early teleports because of the early gank there from Dominate getting Hanser behind. Now they're just trying to wait up, and they're going to look for a situation where they can land some of those skill shots and take a member of Team Liquid out of the fight before it really gets to that 5-on-5 point. Problem is, both teams are fighting really, really heavily over vision, because Team Liquid also want to be able to use their double AP mages that are packing a lot of CC to pick people.
Right. A little bit of harass here from Quas on to Gravity's Hanser. The Void Rush is called out from Rek'Sai, and Dominate will be heading towards the top lane after clearing a ward. But it's also going to be Bunny Fufu in the rotation with St. Vicious.
Yeah, we'll see if Quas gets a little aggressive. He has done a really good job of not getting aggressive and just harassing Hanser.
Yep.
What you do is you charge up your auto attack on the minions until you get an empowered one like that. You can see with the lightning, then activate it. Hanser's doing a good job of baiting him in, but he took a lot of damage, and they shouldn't chase too far. If you bait like that and take that much damage, you can't chase.
Playing that very nicely. Quas gets Gravity where he wants him, but is it ready for the slicing Maelstrom? That's going to be two wiped out. Hanser and Bunny Fufu hit the ground. Quas is still going deep, but that's a lot of ability power coming out of Keen. He electric surges to safety. Comes on the other side, and he fires off the collateral damage. Phoenix is going to get the retribution kill. Shutdown for both of last two kills there, you can see on the screen. And what a hectic fight with Liquid coming out on top.
And that was Liquid without their AD carry the entire time as well. So that was Hanser baiting.
Doing his own thing.
If you bait like that before your team comes to engage, you have to be really careful about chasing. If the enemy does not take the bait, hook, line, and sinker and fully commit, and you don't get the kill, and you don't get to use your brush advantage where Saint and Keen were waiting, then you have to be able to just let that guy go. But he took a lot of damage, chased him down into the river, and they paid for it.
All those attacks, but he saves E, and that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, so Hanser down into the river, and Dominate going to come capitalize on. You can see Phoenix right now coming all the way from second turret in mid. That's how long this takes. So immediately Hanser goes down, and Bunny goes down in the middle. Even with Keen's ultimate up there on Quas the whole time, not able to finish off the kill until Cop comes in, and Phoenix over the wall, able to come in behind Cop and 100%. But yeah, we get to see the burst damage from both sides there.
Yeah.
This Hecarim really, really not working out for Gravity. Not able to get that early snowball going.
Well, I was almost asking for it, bringing something to the lane without a flash. Early game. I mean, that's what you do in regular play. When you play a solo queue game, you're like, all right, we're going for that lane.
Yeah, if you're going to do that, you should be expecting the counterplay from especially Dominate. But that's long, long ago.
Yeah.
And now Team Liquid, pretty good global gold lead. Dragon at number 3. Face check here from Gravity. They do have one ward on it. Can they land poke onto Keith? Nope. It hits it special. All right,
Phoenix went in real hard. He does have the Zanyas. It has not been used yet, so he can still put himself in safety. And the rest of Team Liquid is just able to keep pushing Gravity off in the direction they do not want to go. Lightning Rush to just get in an electrocute down Cop. Hanser's going to be able to gallop out of this, but he is the only one alive, and it looks like Baron is in the eyes of Team Liquid.
Yeah, that was a pretty rough call there from Gravity. Face checking into this Team Liquid squad with the double mages with hard CC that are looking for hard engage on you. Baron was preemptively pinked, so should be a pretty easy pickup here for Team Liquid.
Wow, 24 minutes in, they get that nicely. All 3 dragons in the game are theirs. They're kind of setting a trend here with grabbing all the objectives in a game. Let's see if this one closes out a little bit faster.
Yeah, I mean, I think, all right, so let's take another look here. Binding lands on next special, then they need to try and abort, but the hard engage from Lissandra and Kennen is just too hard to avoid. You can see they even split, but they have such big ultimates, area of effect ultimates from both of those champions that they can catch both sides of the gravity split of the team. And Phoenix engages on one side, Quas engages on the other side. Clean up a bunch of kills. Keith again with his mid-game spike on Corthy, cleaning up right after the solo lane engages there. And everything's going according to plan here for Team Liquid. Whereas Gravity, they really missed their opportunity. They didn't get any sort of early lead. And then if you're not able to gain positioning and heavily poke first with Victor and Nidalee and Morgana, then really going to be rough as far as the team fights count. Oh, gotta be careful there as well.
Not rough for Liquid this time. Definitely changing up the game from what happened the first time they faced Gravity. Quas, he was 0-5-6. They decided to pick Swain. So they still go with a different pick in Victor, or rather Kennen this time, but doing a lot better on that, making sure he can carry for the team. He had the same result on Fizz pretty much, right? But the team wasn't able to get behind it. So it's good to see Liquid able to use these advantages and keep pushing ahead. Gravity, see if they can repair what's been going on. St. Vicious did just get that Rod of Ages finished recently, so it's going to take a while before Nidalee gets some HP.
Yeah, Nidalee's got Rod of Ages completed now, but Team Liquid have 2 Zanyas on both of their hard engage, so really scary. Whenever you have the poke comp get behind the hard engage, then they're pretty much fighting for their lives, just hugging onto turrets. And hoping that the dive goes poorly for Team Liquid.
So your ability to focus someone becomes that much harder. Who do you go for first? The guy's going to Zanyas anyways. Good pressure from Liquid across all lanes right now, spreading it in the 1-3-1.
Holding on here, though. You know, their hope is that they can get some poke to land and deter Team Liquid from going in on the inhibitor turrets, at least. This gold lead ballooning very quickly, though.
Cop taking good damage from Keith. It looks like he actually draws over 2 members. Bunny Fufu and another had to be present in the bottom lane just so Cop could back, and that gives actually free time for Keith here as you see Gravity getting strung out thin across their base. Not looking good as we're getting 20 minutes in. Liquid could be making a move here with Keith as his turret goes down.
Whenever the inhibitor turrets do fall, especially for the poke squad, then it gets really, really hard to defend. I love how Team Liquid picked up the Braum as well versus this, seeing how reliant Gravity are on those skill shots landing. Special happy to take the brunt of them. Constantly on the front lines, making sure that there's no opening. Here it comes.
Behind him, this is what we were looking for. It's going to be a good ultimate, but nobody can follow that much speed. Quas can. He teleports in. That's going to be slicing Maelstrom flash forward. Cop gets caught. That's going to be Keen as well. The barrier's on, but it's only going to last so long. The big one just missing on the end of Keen. It's going to be a few more shurikens to take him down. A triple kill, possibly a quadra coming in for Quas. He's going to be on Bunny Fufu. They're going to give it to him. That's the quadra kill coming in as he goes down to the turret. Fantastic play all around from Team Liquid this game to get revenge on Gravity. They're going to bring it into week 6, getting a little retribution for this game. One of the Nexus turret goes down 28.5 minutes into the game, a 13-3. Pretty nice statement win with 50,000 gold to 40K. And it's going to be Liquid taking down Gravity in week 6.
Yeah, really good job there. Picking up the Braum, blocking the skill shots, you know, attacking Hecarim early so he can't control the rest of the map. Just very, very well-played game plan there from Team Liquid, reacting to the champion select from Gravity that might have thrown a few people off. Not Liquid.
Not Liquid indeed. Smiles from the coach. Going to take the walk as well with the team, earned by all in that victory. So it is now Liquid that moves into 4th.
Team Liquid proves.
Team Liquid
they are more cursed than
they are more cursed.
Gravity.
The best curse to have right now, actually, as they move up in the standings. Hugs all around. And this is what we heard from the pregame chatter. It is a friendly rivalry, if even a rivalry. And these guys,
they're just going so slow. So slow with the hugs as well. It is definitely a family, though.
Yeah. Boom. All the way down the line. We don't shake hands. Brothers got a hug.
Yeah. It almost seems like the dark side versus the light side there with Team Gravity, the Sith Lords. Unable to, get rolling, though.
Definitely.
With the Hecarim early or the poke. I think it was just really good reaction there from Team Liquid. They know these guys so well. They expected a lot of this and just pulled out so many stops in all the lanes. Pretty good counters as far as the end game would go.
Can't dog them for trying the variety. They bring out and that may be the thing, though, too much at one time. They bring out the Hecarim and the Victor at the same time, really kind of depending on getting the perfect fight all the time, getting a teleport in. There's a lot to bank on to make that composition work right, and they weren't really able to find a lot. Good pressure from Dominate in the early game, and we've seen a few times where Quas has had these games where he carries. Like I said, he did it on Fizz. This time, Liquid played around that a lot better, and they didn't just expect that to be what carried the game. They were also playing the map very well. 2-0-5 on Keith. Phoenix 1-0-5 means they played safe. They may not have been putting kills everywhere, but the safety is what allowed them to keep that game going.
Yeah, they had confidence in the team that they drafted, and everybody all had their eyes towards top lane because that's where the huge advantage was. Quas bullying the Hecarim and Dominate with the first early gank.
So with that, is there something that Gravity could have done to provide Haunter, or maybe just Haunter, obviously, to play safe? That's the easiest thing to say.
Well, there definitely is. You have Jungle Nidalee. If you start on the bottom side as Jungle Nidalee and you mirror the jungle path, if Nidalee is in that tri-bush protecting Hecarim, then she will annihilate Rek'Sai. If she's standing still, then the sonar doesn't even go off. And if you run into a Nidalee, it's going to be a guaranteed spear. He'll combo you, and it's very difficult to turn the tide of the fight after Nidalee's already able to land like a free spear on you. Yes.
So, and what were we looking for Gravity to get out of the Victor here? What does that working look like? Is he standing at a turret, lasering people down? How does a composition work around Victor while it's actually ahead of the game?
Victor is just more poke for them, mid-range, sort of mid-range mage, and you can tell he upgraded the laser first. They could have that plus Nidalee plus Morgana plus Graves. So if you can see if those four group up and somebody gets caught, then they'll kill someone.
Unfortunately, fizzling out for them. The poke comp did not work. We see Liquid